They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear.
Dean,
Yeah, what?
what the fuck are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you talking to the models again?
They're my only friends, alright?
Dean, we've had conversation.
Leave me alone.
Hello and welcome to Bloodhammer. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dean.
And we wanted to ask you a very important question today. Dean, have you ever wanted a hammer?
40,000 of them, but only in space.
Well, do we have a product for you? It's called...
Plastic crack.
It's not called plastic crack, Dean.
Oh, damn it.
Warhammer 40,000. We wanted to talk to you today about how to get into the tabletop. As you can see, we have a lot of models with us, and for beginners, it can be quite scary to try and figure out how you get into this. So we wanted to talk to you about a few things.
So, following the recent success of Space Marine 2
and the Amazon Secret Levels episode,
we've seen an influx of people joining us into the hobby.
And a lot of people have been asking, how do you actually get started in Warhammer? There's a lot to it, it's quite complex, and to be fair, if you're a beginner, you don't really know where to start.
We find the best places that you can start for any level of information, being the most basic to the most extreme, is YouTube. You can find some great YouTubers out there, such as Wolflord Row, Tabletop Tactics, Luton,
Bricky, if you want something a bit more memey and taking the piss out of Warhammer. There's a lot of different options on YouTube. Those are some guys that we follow and that we really enjoy and that have kind of helped us get into it. Another area you could look at is the books. We would definitely recommend getting the first 3 books in the Horus Heresy series. They're a great read. It's a great introduction to the world and some of the characters and some of the people that you might actually fall in love with through this.
But if reading a book isn't your thing, you can also pick these up in audiobook form from Audible and also from Black Library itself.
And if you don't want to actually read the books or listen to the books, podcasts are always a great way to go. I'd highly recommend Lorehammer. It's what got me into it a lot. They've got a great series with over 150 episodes, all of them 2 to 3 hours each.
So we find a good place to start when you're getting into the hobby is starter kits. Now you can get these in any shape and size, from small boxes to large boxes. Each one of these boxes will contain a different number of items, such as miniatures, terrain, dice. I believe some even come with paints.
Yes, if you get the 40 quid starter kit from Games Workshop, you usually get the paints for 5 Infernus Marines, 11 Tyranids, and if you don't want to paint them the Ultramarine colours like everybody has, I just bought some Blood Angels Red, as you can see here.
Space vampires!
Yes. We would highly recommend going to Games Workshop is the #1 because it's the easiest place to get it. If not, Hobbycraft have recently started expanding and selling a lot more Warhammer stuff, or find your local hobby shop. We use Timecast, and the guy there, Mark, he's a great guy, always gives us stuff that's, 15-20% off.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how many of these shops are just hidden around where you can pick up Warhammer stuff from. It's not as difficult as it was when I first started out 20 plus years ago. So you can pick up models from anywhere in this day and age. Some of the best places that we have found to pick up models have been, for example, eBay. So myself, I managed to pick up a squad of 10 Hellblasters from eBay, and I managed to get these for as cheap as £20 on a bid.
And I use Facebook a lot for buying some of my models. My Knight here, if you buy it from Games Workshop, you're probably looking at 80-90 quid unpainted. I got that for £40 pre-painted with the base and everything. So don't be afraid when starting off in the hobby to buy older models, to buy models that aren't up to date and the Primaris Marines, which you'll hear a lot of, and it is confusing when you start.
But we would always recommend, though, Games Workshop is the best place to go, for the very simple fact that not only have they got everything in stock, it's also the support that the staff offer, whether it be how to build, how to paint, and also the little things, because you will buy miniatures from, such as Dan said, Facebook, myself, eBay, but they don't always come complete. You can sometimes get ones with items missing. You also need the paint, you could need the glues, the clippers. It literally does depend on how you pick up that deal. So our best recommendation is always consider Games Workshop, but don't be afraid to shop around.
Once you've collected some of your army and you want to know how to start moving forwards with it, you're going to need to get the codex. Up until this point, you don't really need one. I mean, they're cool for lore and the data sheets, but to be fair, don't tell Games Workshop, but you can find most of the codexes printed online as PDFs.
Warhammer!
Yes. So, absolutely get the codex, and the most important part of the codex is a small part that you can miss. It's a code
At the back of the codex, which is weirdly why it might be called a codex.
It is. They are very inventive over there at Games Workshop.
But the beauty of getting this code at the end of your codex is you will find in your Apple Store or in your App Store the Warhammer 40,000 app. Now they also do one for any Age of Sigmar people that might be watching. There is also an app for Age of Sigmar. Don't ask me about the code, I don't play that game.
Yeah,
but back onto Warhammer 40,000, that code will unlock your army. Now, for Space Marine players such as Dan and myself, with our Blood Angels, you do need two codes. There you have the main Space Marine Codex
and the Blood Angels Codex, which will unlock certain characters. If you just want to play generally like I do, I don't really have many Blood Angels characters, so I didn't buy the Blood Angels Codex because, to be fair, Dean has it and I scav most of my stuff off him.
regularly.
Yeah, most of the stuff on the table is his. Even the stuff that's mine is his. The app is great. It's a really easy snapshot on how many points a model is, what you could have, what you could equip them with. And for a beginner, looking at the data sheets is confusing as fuck. It is going to confuse your fucking brain and you're not going to understand what any of it means. The app, at least, helps streamline that.
The app is also very useful that when you are building your squads into your armies, it will tell you if you've gone wrong, whether that be too many points, too many units. For example, you can only have 3 battle line units, such as your standard little intercessor squads. You can only have 3, but if you give them an incorrect weapon loadout, the app will tell you what you've done wrong. And as long as you read that and go back and look at what you've done, you can make the amendments. There's also a feature on the app called Battle Bunker. So when you are moving into the tabletop gaming side of things, you can use this to streamline your gaming. But for a points tracker and just an army builder, the app, through everything that I've seen out there, the app is by far the best place.
Main part of all of this, and the last part really to take into consideration if you are getting into Warhammer, is have fun. It's a game. These are pieces of plastic that are sold to you very expensively by a giant corporation, and you gotta have fun with it. Don't play people that take this too seriously, or do, but just go into it with a bit of an open mind. We play each other all the time, we just mess around, it's fun. We don't really need to go into anything. Have a laugh, have some fun, and just play the game.
We want to take a moment to thank the Shrewsbury War Game Society for our sponsorship. And also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Please comment for the almighty algorithm, as everyone says.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.